Good evening, Professor Nystrom. This is Michael Dykern from your AT716 class, and I'm showing you the project for assignment 22, our own app, or my own app. And for this app, I decided to create a car loan and interest calculator here. So I'm going to walk you through my process of creating it, and then finally, I'm going to show you the overall product of it. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with the strings file. So from the strings file, I have a variety of strings, and this contains my basic text information. So, we have the string app name, which is already created, and it says car loan and interest. Then I have a string called text main over here, and it says car loan and interest calculator, and that corresponds to this string right here. Okay. Then I also have a string called text car price. It says car price with the tax included. Text dealership fees, which is the dealership fees over here. Then we have the text down payment, which includes the text for actual down payments, the text interest rate for the text interest rate, text tax 4%, 2%, text tax 5%, 4%, text tax 8%, so 6%, and then text general information, text payment information, text payment period, and button text calculate payment. Okay, now you'll notice that whatever the name for the string is, whatever object it corresponds to, has the same ID. Right? So for the string over here, car loan and interest calculator, right, it has a string name of text main, right, and that corresponds to this object over here, and that also has the same ID as text main, right? You'll also see the same thing for the button, right? For the button, I have button text, and then in the strings folder, I have the name button text, and this is calculate payment. All right, so that is basic correspondence, right? Then I also include another text view here. So let's go to the layup. Okay. So for the layup, I have the car loan and interest calculator, which is this one right here, right? I gave that a text size of 30 SP and a color of hashtag 0040FF. Okay. Um, then we have the general information, and a I gave that a text size of 25 and a text color of black, so hashtag 000000. And then I have these four number fields. Okay, now these four number fields, they each have the description of what I want them to be. So I'll give them a hint of their respective string, and then I change the hint color. So I'm going to type that in here, the hint, and the text color hint of hashtag 0055FF. Okay, so altogether I have four input fields, right? And then I have a radio group here that has a text view that says interest rate, and then it has these three options for the interest rates: 2%, 4%, or 6% interest rate. And this number view here is like how many months do you want to be paying for? So like, and there's like a lot of options. So like there's like 6 months, there's 12 months, there's 24 months, 36 months, 48, 60, 72, 80 months. So I want to give them the option to put that in of excuse me, of how many months they want to be paying for, or how many months they're going to be paying it off, right? So, then we have the payment information, and then I have a text result over here that I need text monthly payment, and it's going to contain the output string, right? So in the actual app, it doesn't display anything until they hit the calculate payment after all these numbers have been put in, and then it displays the information. Okay. So then over here, I also have the calculate payment button, and when it clicks, it's gonna run all this code in the main activity folder in the main activity Java, and when that code runs, it's gonna display it into the text result over here. Okay, now I'm gonna have to ask you to excuse the background noise because it is quite some background noise. So yeah, a little bit of background noise. Okay, now let's go to the main activity Java so I can start explaining my code. Over here in the main activity Java, I created a whole bunch of doubles, about 15 doubles, and the only one that's not used is the text tax 6%. Um, and there's a reason for that, and that's because I decided I didn't need to use it if I could use this and then just add 1. So, that was just one of my ways of, like, figuring that out in my code. But, hold on. I have a typo in this code. So let me give it a second here. Let me pause this. Yeah. Once again, I'm asking to excuse that background noise there. But, yeah, I did have a typo because I didn't put the text tag 6% over here. Because I forgot to save that part of the code. But I fixed it, so everything else should be running fine again. So let me go back and re-explain my code. Alright, so I have these 15 variables here, and these variables get used over and over again. Now I want to explain the differences between this set over here. So like you'll notice I have a text tax 2%, and then I also have a 2%. Right, and when I say tax, I'm referring to interest. I just, I had a brain fart and I couldn't remember what to call it, so I decided to call it tax. Right? So when I put 1.02%, that's to figure out the monthly payment with tax, right? So instead of doing like, the 0.02% times the monthly payment plus the monthly payment, right, I decided to just put it as a 1 so it would multiply into the price, right? So here, monthly tax payment is going to be equal to the monthly payment price times the tax 6%. You understand what I'm saying, right? Then, after I declared all these variables, each variable is used at least once, which is why they're highlighted. And I didn't realize that I would need as many variables, but I only did it for my clarity's sake. Because I could have reused the variables, but I decided against it because if I reused the variables, then things would have gotten really cluttered for me, and I would have gotten really confused. So the best thing for me was to create a whole bunch of global variables that can be used in the entire program, right? Then, in this section of the code here, right, we had this field is dedicated to the number of fields for the input variables. So, like, these four number fields are being attributed here, and then this field is for the radio buttons, and these three associated with these three radio buttons over here. Then we have the text view to display the results. So this text view, this line here corresponds with this empty text button here, empty text field. And then we have the button, of course, with the button text and all of that. And then, we have button text set on click listener. It's going to give it the event of the code and stuff. And then that's going to allow it to run all this code when it's clicked. Okay, so over here, I created the decimal format. Over here, so decimal format 10th equals new decimal format. And then I gave it a pattern of hashtag, 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 dot, hashtag, hashtag, hashtag. So then, we had to change the strings to two variables to be able to do the math. So remember, this is what I had reached out to you about in class because I was so confused because it was like, hey, you cannot do math with this type of stuff. And I was like, what? And then, you showed it to me and then I found the code in another project and I was like, okay, this is definitely the code to work. So I just, fixed it around over there. So I have car price 1, double the parts, double car price, dealership fees, down payment 1, payment period 1, right? And all double pricing these into actual variables that we can use to compute math. And then, we have to create the overall price equals to car price plus dealership fees 1 minus down payment 1. Monthly payment price equals overall price slash payment period 1. And then we go down to the if statements. So this if statement is catered to the 2%, right? So if this 2% over here is checked, this code will run, right? And these codes is pretty much copy and paste. Even though I typed it out myself so I can like memorize it, it just pretty much copy and paste basic information here for each of these. And what it does here is it's going to take the monthly tax payment price, which is a variable, it's going to set it equal to the monthly payments, and it's going to give us, and it's going to multiply it by either the tax of 2% or the tax of 4% or the tax of 6% to give us the monthly payment price with tax included, right? And then we have a tax only, and that's going to give us the monthly payment price of, and then it's going to multiply it by only the percent. So instead of 1.02 or 1.04 or 1.06, it's going to multiply it by 1.04. Okay? 1.06. And that's basically it. And then the yellow tax is multiplied by 12 to give us the answers. And yeah, I hope you enjoy Professor Nystrom. Okay, so Professor Nystrom, this video is going to be a little bit longer because I didn't show you the final product, and that's because I ran out of time on the Bandicam. It gives you 10 minutes of free recordings per video, so I'm gonna have to stitch it together. But either way, I gotta show you the program running, of course, you know. So let me show you this program running. So first, I'm gonna click build, and it's gonna build it. It's building. It's building. It's building. It's taking its sweet time while it's building. But once it decides to finish building, we'll be able to test this program out. So, yay! There we go. The Gradle build finished, and now we're gonna run it in the app, and let's see what happens there. Just gonna run it. Great application finished. Zero errors. Wonderful. That's just wonderful. Okay, see? So over here, I'm gonna input. Let's say I'm buying a car with $10,000. With $10,000, they have like a dealership fee of like, let's say 75 plus like the license and registration is about $250, right? And then we got a down payment. I'm putting down like $2,000 or $4,000 down, right? And they have an interest rate of 6%. And I'm going to be paying this off in, let's say, 72 months. Let's calculate the payment. You see, it says your total monthly payment with interest is $92.14. Also, your total monthly interest is $6.94, 944 cents, and your total yearly interest is $83.33. Now, this is good because a lot of people, right, they don't realize how much they're paying per year in interest, right? So, like, let's say if I were to pay this off faster, right, my interest is going to be greater, but I'm going to get done faster and I'm saving some money. Understand? If I pay this off in 36 months, my interest again is greater because the interest rate is going to be greater because the faster you pay it off, the higher the interest rate. You understand? So a lot of people are like, hey, if I pay this off faster, the total interest I'm paying is lower, and that's actually not true. Sometimes, right, with car dealerships, the faster you pay off, the more interest they're gonna want to try and get out of you because the interest is really where they start making their money. You understand? So like $72, 72 months, right, gives you $83 in interest total per year, right? And as opposed to 36 months, which gives you a total of $166 in interest every year. We can round this up to 167. So that's basically the whole purpose of this calculator, you know, to avoid people from getting ripped off and when they go to the dealership and stuff. Because, you know, I'm in the interest of buying a new car, right? And I didn't know that it's like all these tactics the dealerships use to try and rip you off. So by making a simple calculator, you know, it allows for greater variety and greater people to not get ripped off the car dealerships because they can do the math on their phone instead of having to rely on and go by what the dealer says. So that's basically the whole reason for me creating this app. And as you can see, it runs at 2% as well. So for 2%, see everything changes. For 4%, everything changes. And with any numbers as well. You know, I can have like a $70,000 dealership fee. You know, and my interest rate is going to be through the roof. Obviously, you know, I can change this to like a random number. Well, I shouldn't change it too high because then that's going to give me negative. So let's say I'm putting down like 369.9, right? Calculate payments. See, it goes down. Let's say I'm buying a car that's $1, right? A $1 car. That car must have like no gas, no engine, or nothing, right? So yeah, that's basically what this app is for. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If it's not to your satisfaction, please let me know. Like, contact me through Mind, and I'll resubmit the video, a new video. You know, and yeah, thank you for your time. Sorry this video got a little long.